That was
Getting
great.
told off by Pete Townsend for being too rock and roll.
Yeah. What?
Hello and welcome to the next episode of Moving the Spotlight. Today we are joined by Wolfie. Wolfie is a man of many stories, so sit back and relax. I'm joined by Luke as well. You're going to enjoy this one. Just introduce yourself to the masses, my friend, and tell everybody who you are and your specialist skill set. So yeah.
Right, okay, so I'm Wolfie Foxlow. I've done a bit of acting, bit of modelling, bit of promotion, stage manager, comparing for different bands, and it sort of took me all over the world, really. I used to do a lot of DJing as well with Tony Class. We were the two mod DJs. And Tony's long gone now. He died, unfortunately, so I don't do much DJing now. So it's all got a bit quiet, but I'm sure it's going to start picking up again. But I've had quite some interesting moments in my life. I started out as a young mod when I was 15, just before Quadrophenia came out. Mod before Quad.
Before Quad.
So I'm old, man. So anyway, and my favourite band of all time, and still is The Who. So it's a bit of a strange story, really, because being a young impressionable mod at 15, and then next thing you know, I'm hanging out with my heroes. Do you know what I mean? They're like my mates. So over a period of time, that's what happened. So it's quite freaks me out at times if I think about it too much, because it's just like hanging out with your heroes. Do you know what I mean? But it's sort of since I've known them, they've sort of morphed into something else. They're still the band, The Who, but they're like it's a bit difficult to put a pin on it. It's because they've become friends. I don't see them as these big fucking rock gods anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they are, but I don't. Before I might go dry in the mouth and fucking freak out a little bit, but now it's all right, mate. How's it going? And it's just.
Was that weird when you first? Was it weird when you first met them? I say because they were your heroes. I know you've kind of changed now, but was it weird when you first got to know them and stuff? Were you kind of on tenterhooks a little bit, or were you just you and just like tell them how it is?
Basically, tell how it is. I mean, I've never been starstruck, really. Yeah. I've always liked to meet interesting people, and there's actors and still rock stars that I still like to meet. But I'm not one of these people who go, "Oh my God, you believe this has happened."
Yeah.
It ain't really like that, you know what I mean? But so I wasn't really starstruck. I mean, okay, let's be totally honest with you. The first night, I flew into Narita in Japan to see the Who, and 20 years ago, and I didn't know him then. But it was the first time I'd met him, and I knew that. And a bloke called Irish Jack, I bumped into him by accident. It was really strange, actually. I'll just go off on a little tangent here. I was starting my Lambretta in Broadwick Street. Now, Broadwick Street is featured in Quadrophenia, right? I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be off to Broadwick Street, fast, F-A-S-T, and he mentions Broadwick Street, and he does that to Jimmy. Now, Jimmy is based on Irish Jack, right? He is the influence behind Jimmy the Mod in Quadrophenia.
Yeah.
So it's funny that it was Irish Jack that I met in Broadwick Street. I'm just starting a Lambretta, blah, blah, blah. I didn't know who he was, and he told me. I thought, I've recognised that name before. Anyway, got chatting, went for a beer and become mates, and he managed to get me backstage pass at the gig in Japan. Now, I was doing cartwheels the night before. I must have.
I bet you were, mate.
I mean, I got married in Vegas, and that was nerve-wracking. But this was like getting married 100 times over. It was mental. I was so excited. I was like I might have to bleep something out. I was proper mental. And my missus was saying, just calm down. There are only a couple of geezers in a band. I went, only a couple of geezers in a band?
Do you know who this is?
So, I must admit. But once that passed, I was all right. And when I did meet him after the show, I wasn't nervous or anything like that.
Yeah.
A little bit nervous, Pete, I suppose, because he's a man, isn't he?
Yeah.
Roger's just a little bloke that got lucky, you know what I mean? But
he had good hair and could sing a bit, couldn't he?
Yeah, and he had a bit of physique, you know.
Yeah.
But great frontman, of course. But so no, I wasn't really that sort of blown away by it. Just the build up to it the night before when I was literally freaking out. Yeah. You know. So that was it. And I thought to myself, you know, if the plane crashes on the way home, it wouldn't really bother me because I've achieved my ultimate goal and I've met my heroes.
You can die happy, can't you?
Wolfie, was Irish Jack with you there?
In Japan?
Yeah.
No. He wasn't in Japan, no.
So I've got an Irish Jack story as well.
I think everyone's got an Irish Jack story. He's such a colourful character, isn't he?
Yeah. So just to let people know that maybe won't know who Irish Jack is, he's the person that Pete based Jimmy on, isn't it? But he was the face around Shepherd's Bush, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Yeah. But when I met him, I used to be in a Who tribute band, and we all went to a Who convention. I think you might have been there.
Substitute Who? Was it
Substitute Who? Yeah, that was it, mate.
Yeah, I remember.
And we went to a Who convention. I think you were there, Wolfie. You must have been there. Roger did a guest spot, and Simon Townsend's band was playing. You know the guy, what were they called when it had Bruce Foxton and the drummer from Big Country?
He's a great friend of mine, Mark. The name of the band was Casbah Club.
That's right, Casbah Club. Yeah. So everything. Well, I'd had a bit to drink, and then I collared Irish Jack. I collared him, and I went up to him and I was like, "You're Irish Jack." Like he's like they're probably. He's folklore, isn't he? He's like a legendary mod. He's a legendary mod. So I was well chuffed to meet him. Turns out we carried on drinking. After the thing had closed, we ended up in the Gold Hawk, having a few beers, and then somehow me and the rest of this Who tribute and Irish Jack ended up at a house party in Shepherd's Bush.
Oh, that's amazing.
I don't know what happened, but and then we ended up getting kicked out.
True, fashion, love it.
Yeah, we got kicked out this party.
Oh, nice one. Irish Jack, he was the one, basically he was like the unofficial promoter of the band. So he was the one that stuck up flyers everywhere, and he was also the one that went into the record shop to buy shitloads of Who records in certain record shops to make it go up the charts.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that was Jack. Do you know what I mean? And his song's been written about him. You know, we've done a gig in Cork once, and afterwards they wanted me and Jack to sign pictures and books and that. And one of the blokes had a Who songbook, and he opened it up on the page "Happy Jack."
Yeah. Right?
And he turned around, the fella turned around and said to Irish Jack, he goes, "This is about you, isn't it?" "Oh yes, be sure it is. It's all about me." It was about donkey. Do you know what I mean? This bloke's believe written for him, but anyway. So that was it. So Jack is one of the main geezers that actually got the Who where they are today in the early years.
Yeah.
Gosh, man. Well, how have you been like? So obviously you've developed that relationship with them, buddy, and over the years and stuff like that. So what's been one of the, apart from the first time you met them, what's been the greatest moment you've kind of shared with them, in your opinion?
I mean, introducing Roger, that was quite a big thing.
Yeah.
You know, all over the world I've done that. So that was a special moment. So when I said earlier on, I've met my heroes, I've got the picture, I've got the autographs, I've got my Live at Leeds album signed, and the plane crashes, I'll be happy. Well, I'm glad it didn't crash because it's gone further than that. Do you know what I mean? I've been on a private jet, I've been on this private jet. You know, I've introduced the band and all that. So these were really special, significant, historic moments for me, you know. And Pete saying that I'm a really snappy dresser, I mean, that means a lot to me.
Yeah.
I'm not a snappy dresser now. This was given to me by Rabbit, by the way, this jacket. John Rabbit Bundrick, the keyboard player.
Way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So there's loads of things, really. You know, getting told off by Pete Townsend because me and Zach were partying too hard and trashed the hotel room.
Zach Starkey, was that?
Zach Starkey, yeah.
Great drummer. Oh, yeah, phenomenal drummer.
He is a great drummer. A lot of people say that it's Keith Moon that taught him. That's not true at all. It was Keith Moon who bought him his first drum kit. He taught himself. So yeah, Pete's telling me off for partying too hard with Zach. And he goes, when we're not gigging, he goes, you can party as hard as you like. But in the meantime, he's gigging the next day. Stop partying because it's not. Do you know what I mean? He gets quite sloppy. He's got an hangover. We've been up all night doing whatever. You know, so I've got that's quite a magical moment getting told off by Pete.
Yeah.
You know, that was
getting
great.
told off by Pete Townsend for being too rock and roll.
Yeah, get up and not make the shit up, man. So that was quite cool. You know what I mean? When I broke my leg in New Zealand, Sean was there. You know,
Yeah.
When I broke my leg, I was just flying from beam to beam in this beautiful fucking ranch, and I just fell and smashed my leg to bits. Ridiculous. And so I still carried on the tour around New Zealand and Australia with the Who, and I was on stage right in a wheelchair at the 2008, I think, World Grand Prix in Melbourne, Australia.
Yeah.
And the Who headlining in front of 100,000 people, I think, was there. And I'm in the wings watching the band perform in the wheelchair, and then Pete come off stage and he just took his hat off, tipped his hat to me, and shook my hand and goes, "Fucking hell, Wolfie, what you done now?" And that's the first thing he said after coming off stage in front of all people. So then that was a moment for me as well, you know. So there's just so many of them, you know, and it's difficult to actually pinpoint anyone that was the best. I suppose the first time I introduced Roger, I think it was Times Square in New York. That was quite a moment for me. That was, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I pushed my, do you know what I mean? And I just didn't think it could get any better, and it did, you know. Then I'm on his private jet. That was a big thing for me as well, you know. So yeah, loads of things like that. Me and Zach have got some great stories, but he's still alive, so I have to wait till he's dead before I can
have to wait to write your book, mate. Wait to write your book till he pops off.
Yeah, exactly. Not that I wish him dead, of course.
No.
But when Roger and Pete pop off, and then I'm going to write another book, and that'll spin up
everything. Yeah, you won't get sued then. You'll be all right. You'll be fine. You know, you'll be all right then, wouldn't you? You'll be sound. Yeah. But how's like with COVID and stuff, mate? Obviously, you mentioned you're an actor and things like that. Then that must have affected work you've been doing and like your acting jobs and stuff like that, or stuff you had planned. So how's the pandemic kind of set that stuff back for you, mate?
Well, that's rubbish, man. Because the thing is, there's a TV series that we're recording now, which could be the making of me. It's called The Snooker King, and I'm playing one of the lead roles in that.
Brilliant.
And we started production, and there's going to be a series. It's about 10 or 20 episodes, and it's a comedy, family-friendly comedy, you know. And that should have been out this summer, but we've done one day's filming, and this happened, so we couldn't do it, you know. So that really pissed us off a lot. But having said that, I've still been busy with Bollywood films. Don't laugh, I know.
No way. Oh, really?
So I've been quite busy with the Bollywood stuff. But that's it, really. All the other stuff has taken a back shelf. I've been bored shitless like everybody else, you know.
Yeah.
It's been dreadful.
It's just mad, isn't it? Is there any kind of signs it's going to open back up for you guys, and any more kind of talk about getting back in with the Snooker King and stuff and production, or is it pretty much got to wait till June like every other bugger at the moment?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much wait till June, do you know what I mean? And even then, nothing's guaranteed, is it? You know, and the same with you guys who's in the music industry as well.
Yeah.
It's tough for you, Luke, as well. You're not being able to play on stage.
Oh no, that's it. I've really missed it. It's
Yeah.
kind of like it's my outlet. Playing music is.
Yeah.
We haven't been able to rehearse. You know, we played that one gig, didn't we, Neil?
Yeah.
Which was amazing. It kept me going.
Yeah.
But then we went back into lockdown, didn't we? But yeah, I mean, I can't wait to get on a stage. I can't wait just to get playing again. It's what we do.
Yes.
You know.
And you do it very well, boy. I must say, you do it very well. I must give you that.
I try my best.
Yeah.
But I can't say much for Neil though.
Oh, that's a bit harsh. Hang on, I'm the front man of this band. I'm the Roger of this band. Hang on, I'm not just the ego, you know. You know, he's got a better physique than me.
Can I be the Pete then?
You're the head whistle.
Yeah, I'll be here. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I was going to say that's not a bad way to be.
Yeah.
It's not a bad way at all.
No, exactly.
I mean, I'm about to open some champagne and drink it out of one of John Entwistle's mugs. Did you see that?
Oh,
nice,
Is
mate.
that one of Entwistle's? Lovely.
Yeah, it's one John Entwistle, that one.
You got a couple of his guitars as well, haven't you?
Yeah, guitars. I mean, gee, I've got loads of stuff. It's ridiculous. I've spent so much money on Who memorabilia and all that.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, guitars signed by Iggy Pop,
Wow.
Mahomes, Oasis and stuff. Because I've met all these people, and I'm not one of these people that walk around with a fucking great big guitar hoping to bump into someone famous to sign it.
Yeah.
I've bought stuff at auction. I've actually seen them in person, and they've autographed stuff for me. But so I've got a lot of stuff. I bought a lot of stuff off the Who auction and stuff. A lot of stuff was given to me as well. And in my old house, it was a beautiful semi-Victorian house. That was done up like the Hard Rock Cafe. I had like floor toms, coffee tables, and there's guitars all around there, gold discs. It was proper rock and roll. It was unbelievable.
Nice.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And I said to Roger, I told him that all my stuff is just full of memorabilia and stuff. I said, it's like the Hard Rock Cafe. I said, there's only one thing missing. He went, what's that? And I went, the pink Cadillac through the window. That's the only thing. He goes, but you've got to get the Cadillac through the window, Wolfie. I said, I want that Cadillac through the window.
Love it.
So, I love music. Music's my life. Music's our life,
Yeah. When did you get into the mod thing then? So you said before you was a mod before Quad. What got you into it?
The Who. Simple as that.
Yeah. Where did you first hear them then?
Right. Okay. So I was in a kids' home for a few years. Right.
Yeah.
I had a bit of a troubled childhood. What happened was I was in the TV and I was watching Happy Days. Henry Winkler, right? That's how long ago it was. So this was 79, a couple of months before Quadrophenia came out.
Yeah.
And the older guy, Harry Kavanagh, he was a bit of a bully, right? And he just got hold of me, goes, right, Wolfie, come here, you little shit. And he dragged me from the TV room into the record room, and he played a compilation of The Who. And I think the first one was I Can't Explain, he played me. Then it was Substitute. And I thought, and he said, and I thought, oh, what's all this? I don't understand it. Do you know what I mean? I was into that sort of, what was I into? I mean, I liked Elvis and the old rock and rollers because of my brothers. I was into rock and roll stuff, really, oblivious to anything else. So anyway, he sat me down and he goes, listen to the words, just listen to the words. And to my disbelief, they was actually singing songs, and it made sense. They was like telling a story. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and that's the first time I've actually heard songs being told in like a storybook like type thing. Pictures of amazing. I mean, all pictures and stuff is incredible.
Yeah.
It's when you listen to Pictures of Lily as a teenager, and you're like, that's me.
Yeah.
Because she helped him sleep at night, right?
Yeah.
She did, yeah.
Exactly.
So that was it, really. I thought, I couldn't believe that these songs were amazing. Then I heard like Pinball Wizard and all that, and these crashing chords, and Keith Moon sounded like a bloody machine going off. So I looked into it even more. I thought, these guys are nuts. And I was an angry kid. You know what I mean? I was rebellious. I had a chip on my shoulder. I was against authority. I didn't like social workers. It made me a very aggressive teenager. The Who, they were aggressive. They were from London. I was aggressive. I was from London. I loved the music, our chords and everything else. And it all sort of slotted together. And I thought, this band is made for me.
Yeah.
I've been into this all my life. I didn't even know they existed. So I got so involved with the music. I was writing out the lyrics, so I know all their words off by heart because I wanted to be in a band. I wanted to be the Who. It's kid stuff, But anyway, and that was it. So, and I looked a bit deep, and I thought, how am I going to show the world how much I love the Who? Yeah. Then I found out that's connected to the mods, right?
Yeah.
Then I found out the mods rode scooters, and I loved scooters when I was a kid. It's all bubble cars and scooters. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So it all sort of joined together, and I thought, it, I've got to be a mod, man. That's it. And the next day, I'm a mod. With big fat tie at school, I turned around the other way, so it was nice and skinny.
Yeah.
Collars went in, buttoned down. I walk into school, people go, what the f*** happened to you? They thought I was some kind of freak. I had a bump on the head overnight. Because everyone's wearing flares and long hair and stuff.
Yeah.
Quadrophenia came out, every was a mod. I go, yeah, you f***ers, see?
I was here first.
Yeah. I was the first mod in my school. And then Quadrophenia came out a couple of months after that. Everyone
was a mod, yeah.
Everyone was a mod, yeah. Eyeliner and all that. I've still got fucking eyeliner on now at 57.
Mate, you look good on it though. That's the main thing. Eyeliner always makes you look good. I learned that from a very young freaking age going on stage. Don't worry about that. No, that's my. Yeah. It's like a calling though, isn't it? And I've spoke to you about it. So, but being a mod and stuff, my dad was a mod. I loved the mod. Quadrophenia. It's just it is a calling. Everyone you speak to who was a mod or became a mod, it's a way of life. It is a way of life. There's no other way to talk it. It is that calling through music or through fashion or through any part of it, isn't it? That feeling when Quadrophenia came out, did you kind of think everyone was kind of faking it then, Wolfie, or were you like, hang on a minute, I'm onto something here. There's a gang here I can get involved with, so this is good,
Yeah, I mean, it was weird really because I was getting bullied as well because I was the odd one out. I was the fucking freak, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was getting a bit bullied and all that. So I learned how to fight, I got just so many fights. It's great time, a dangerous game to play. So yeah, then next thing, everyone wanted to be my mate because I was the first mod in school. Do you know what I mean? So I didn't resent it. I was well chuffed that I was one of the first ones to see it.
Yeah.
And so everyone wanted to be my mate. And then next thing, I was Mr. Popular. They didn't want to beat me up anymore. They wanted to be my mate. Where'd you get your shoes? Where'd you get your shirt? And all that sort of thing. So they looked up to me. And so
I bet you didn't tell them, did you?
No, I told them. You have to find your own stuff. You know what I mean?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm my ace face. That's my ace face, and that's me. That's your because that's it.
Whenever people ask me, "Oh, that's a nice shirt. Where'd you get it from?" I do tell them Ralco now because I wear a lot of Ralco and I like to help them out. But I used to say Primark.
Yeah.
So I have to go around searching for. I can't find that shirt that lad was talking about.
Yeah.
But I remember talking about Quadrophenia and everything. I remember when I was 15 because I turned 16 in November. So I was 15, and I remember I used to buy the NME newspaper, a New Musical Express, and I remember seeing in there. So I might have been 14 and a half or something like that. And I remember seeing an advert asking for extras to appear in this new film, Quadrophenia. I thought, what the f*** is Quadrophenia? So I applied for it to be an extra. And I lied about my age, but I didn't get it because I think they knew I was too young. And
Yeah.
I did apply for it, So although I didn't get in the film, I think I've done pretty well in the long run anyway, as far as the modern things connected.
Mate, you didn't get in the film, but you know the Who. I mean, to be honest, mate, I'd say you traded up a bit there. To be fair, it's like, and what you've done. Not many people have got John Entwistle's goblet, mate. I mean, it's
such a strange attachment to that film and the band, like. It's so strange. I went to a Quadrophenia reunion, and Phil Daniels wasn't meant to be there, and then at last minute he turned up, and I got emotional because I got to meet Phil Daniels, man. It's like this. I used to watch Quadrophenia every day when I'd get in from school and I'd watch it or I'd listen to the album, and I'm like, that it's what made me want me want to be a mod after watching Quadrophenia. It's just it's like it's cult, isn't it? It's cool. It's a way of life. It's a way of life.
It is, and I think everyone, because it's all about teenage angst, isn't it? So every teenager on the planet can relate to that film because we all go through it. The heartache of losing your girlfriend and all that, and falling in love and just getting wankered and falling over and acting like a dick, thinking you're God, getting the sack and falling out of your parents. Everyone can relate to it. It covers every aspect of growing up as a teenager, wherever you are. And I think that's why Quadrophenia as a film has stood the test of time, and it will still be long after we've gone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. My dad was gutted because he was a rocker. So when I started playing bass when I was about 11, and then my dad was like, "You need to listen to the Who. Obviously, if you're going to be a bass player, you need to listen to the Who. You need to listen to Cream, bands like that." So he got me a load of Who stuff. He bought me a load of Who records. He got me Quadrophenia. I listened to Quadrophenia, and he said, "Oh, they've made that into a film." I was like, "Can you get it, mate?" So he got it, mate, and then that was it. Then, and he was gutted because I was on the other team.
So how old was you, Luke, when you saw Quadrophenia for the first time?
I would have been about 13, 14.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Young and impressionable.
Very young and impressionable, yeah.
He's still impressionable now, Wolfie. What are you talking about? Even though he's
impressionable bass playing.
Yeah, he's impressionable now. The amount of times we've been at gigs and stuff, and we've played a show, and literally I'll come off stage, I'm like, "Where's Luke?" And I was like, "I don't know where he is. Where is he?" And he's talking to the band that was supporting us, or someone who's come to see us and stuff, and he's like 3 beers in, and it's been like 5 minutes, and I'm like, "Jesus Christ, mate!" I was just like,
We played a gig there. And it was for the Isle of Wight reissue DVD.
Was I there?
Yeah, you were. We gave you a lift home, right? And yeah, we gave you a lift home, Wolfie.
Yeah.
Right, and all I can remember is Wolfie. He'd had a skinful. He had this tambourine. You were hanging out the passenger window of the front door of the van, the whole way back with a tambourine. That's another one I remember of you, Wolfie. We went to. It was at the Albert Hall. It was at the Albert Hall. It's when they did Quadrophenia for the Teenage Cancer Trust, and we had kind of after party passes. Yeah. So we were down there, and I was talking to who's the Channel 4 presenter, like proper indie? Is it Alex
Zane?
Is it Alex Zane? I don't
know.
I was talking to him, right, and he was like, "Oh, so are you going backstage or anything?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know, because we haven't got passes or anything."
Yeah.
Just as that happened, Wolfie comes in through the door. All right, Eddie. and he calls us over, and he's got us backstage passes to actually go backstage at the Albert Hall. And then Alex Zane is there like that. See ya. Yeah, that same night I was talking to an American guy, and I asked him what he does for a living, and he said, I sing in a band. I was like, "Oh, what's your band's name?" And he said, Pearl Jam.
Luke didn't know who Eddie Vedder was.
Did you really?
Yeah, I didn't know who Eddie Vedder.
He's a massive Who fan, isn't he, Eddie Vedder?
Yeah, he's a huge.
Can you see this? I don't know if you can see it. Hold on. Yeah, he's a huge Who fan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
That's Vedder. He says, "See, Wolfie, my new hero, Eddie Vedder," right? So,
well, Luke doesn't know who he is, Wolfie. So next time you see Eddie Vedder, just let him know.
Yeah, my only excuse is that I didn't really listen to any music from the 90s because that's when I was listening to my mum and dad's music. You know what I mean? You know, when you're growing up and you listen to like your parents' stuff. So yeah, I had no idea who Eddie Vedder was, and I apologised to him. But you know,
I mean, I've known Eddie Vedder for years. I've been to his house and all that. I mean, I know
okay.
That, but and he's got a target on the bottom of his swimming pool, mosaic target.
Nice.
I see. Nice.
Yeah, and he's got a GS as well, with all mirrors and lights in the hallway. Yeah, he's proper into the mod thing. You know, he's from the West Coast. He's from Seattle. You know, in the 90s. That's how he come about. But he's mad about Who. Every time he comes over to London, he stays at Si's house. You know, so we all go and party with Eddie and Simon at Pete Townsend's old house in Ealing. And he's a really, really nice bloke, isn't he? He's a very quiet and unassuming and quite humble character.
Yeah, I think that's probably why I didn't realise at all who he was, because you wouldn't really, if you spoke to him and he didn't know it was Eddie Vedder. Apart from, you could probably recognise him because he's in a fucking huge band, isn't he? But
unless you're you.
Unless it's me.
Unless you're you.
Unless it's me. Yeah.
He's a hell of a singer as well, isn't he, Eddie Vedder? Jesus.
Yeah, he's got a great voice.
I remember seeing him live, and I saw Pearl Jam. I think it was Wembley Arena or something, and he was amazing. Well, the whole band were, to be fair. There was class. So, Wolfie, we've got to speak to you about getting us supporting Pearl Jam then, yeah? Is that how this is going to work, yeah?
Yeah, I've got his number. I can bet him up, mate.
There you go, sorted. Right, don't worry. Yeah, we'll do that. That's fine. Yeah.
Do you remember that young bard that didn't know who you was?
He's in a really good band and he wants to support you.
I'll tell you a funny story, right? When we done a gig in Seattle, it was in Vancouver with the Who, and I think Roger done a solo thing with Simon in Seattle. where Eddie Vedder lives, right? So we've done that. I've done the intro for them, and there's probably about 8,000 people there. And this was the first time I met Eddie Vedder backstage, and was chatting away because he's good mates with Simon, really. Anyway, so after the gig, I was in Roger's van, right? And Roger this is so fucking funny, man. We was backstage, and we just packed up. We just got all our gear together, and we jumped in the van with Roger to go to the hotel. And there was a load of fans waiting out over by the entrance to the gates. A load of fans. And Roger turned around and said to the driver, he goes, "Don't stop." He goes, "I'm not signing any autographs. F- it, I'm just going straight through." Anyway, they weren't there for Roger. That's where there for Eddie. Right? Eddie drove through, right? And then as soon as Eddie went, all the crowd disappeared, and Roger thought, "Oh, they're there for me," and put his nose out of joint a little bit.
Oh, no way.
They weren't there for him.
But that must be weird for him, must it? Going from that kind of megastar.
After Tommy, wasn't it? After Tommy, they were literally like world famous, weren't they?
Well, they were skin sort of Tommy, weren't they? At 96, they was in debt so much, and Tommy came out, and there's literally millionaires overnight. That was it, you know. Yeah. So they went from that. But the thing is, I think with the Who, they're really huge in countries like Japan, America, Australia, and probably Spain and Italy. They're probably the top 5 where they're the biggest. In the UK, they're right down the bottom. They just sell out gigs in the UK, and I don't understand that. An English band, you know, I can't understand why they sell out in America, and Japan, Australia, but here they have trouble getting bums on seats. I don't know why that is.
Yeah, didn't it? Because they're so. The way I look at it, they're so essentially British. You know, fight against the accent stuff and everything they stand for, and everything, you know, with Pete's lyrics and Quadrophenia. But I think the British public have a bit of like, you know, a complex about it. Like, oh well, you know, they kind of we look down on stuff like that. Where in reality, we should absolutely be pushing them to the hills and say this is amazing. They came from the UK. Whereas I think
it's like when you think of the '60s and like the quintessential British bands, British mod bands, stuff like the Who were at the forefront, weren't they? The Small Faces and the Kinks, weren't they?
I thought it was amazing how can you put it? You know, Life of Brian, he is the Messiah and all that.
Yeah.
Followers. Well, Pete Townsend created Quadrophenia, the 1973 concept album, right? He wrote that, right? Everything. And next thing you know, they turned it into a film 6 years later. And then everyone was a mod. Everyone was a mod. There was mods all because of Pete Townsend. So he is the Messiah, right? And he's got all these following him. You know, so I think that there's not many bands or songwriters that can say they've achieved that. They've changed the whole nation. Turned them into, you know, crazy. You know, I think to have that that's something very special, isn't it, I think.
Do you reckon that's part of the reason why he tried to do the Lifehouse project and stuff? Because Lifehouse, I don't actually. It's what Who's Next should have been, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was like a weird concept, wasn't it? Where he gets people to live with them on stage or something like that.
Yeah. It's a strange one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Pete's responsible for a lot of things, and people say about Quadrophenia too. Well, he's already made that, but people didn't realise that Quadrophenia 2 has been and gone already. And it was basically Jimmy, 20 years from when he was a mod.
Yeah.
He's into swimming and all that. You know the album White City?
Yeah.
White City. That's loosely based on Quadrophenia 2, right? But no one really... Then they made a film out of it, see? Which wasn't obviously as big and successful, but nevertheless, he's still done it.
Like when you hear Substitute, right, you're not sitting there thinking, okay, this is Mozart, but you sit there and go, this is mad, this is amazing music, and it speaks directly to your soul of, this is what I should do. Pictures of said, Pictures of Lily, it's just, that is the uniqueness of them, I think, without a shadow of a doubt.
Because you can relate to it, can't you? You can relate to the music, you know, his guitar solos. I mean, I think, you correct me if you think I'm wrong, but a guitar solo is for something that you can't put into words.
Yeah.
So you do it through music, right? And Pete does that exceptionally well, you know. And everyone everyone can relate to his songs and his music and the storytelling. You know, pen to paper. He comes out with miracles, I think. Except for me, right? And when I toured with him for about 10 years, and every time they played a certain song, I just walk away and have a fag backstage, out the way. And there's one song that I don't rate at all, right? And it's You Better, You Bet, right?
Okay, yeah.
Now, come on, your dog keeps licking my nose and chewing up all those letters saying you better. I mean, come on, Pete, was you on heroin?
No, Matt, Wolfie, I agree with you on that 100%. I always thought You Better, You Bet, You Bet was like a knockoff of Who Are You? I thought, how can we do this again, but kind of change it around a bit? Because
Wasn't it on the same album?
Yeah.
It was on the same
I just
album.
Thought, Who Are You is just, oh my God, it's just classic. I love that song.
Agreed. That's a great song, and that's a true story as well.
Yeah, we were saying it.
They don't even deserve to be in the same room, do they? That's the thing. It's like
the same planet. Neil,
Boris the Spider is better than that. Now it's just like
Boris the Spider is an amazing tune.
It is. That's my point. It's like that was a B-side, wasn't it? Was that the B-side to Who Are You? Boris the Spider.
It was on. It's on a quick one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's no on the single. It was B-side, I think, to Who Are You.
I think you're right. Actually,
I think it is.
I think you're right, because Pete said he needed to use some songs, didn't he, to complete the album, and he said to John, "Right, have you written a song?" And he went, "Yeah, I've written it. I'll bring it in tomorrow," which he didn't. And he went home that night, and he wrote it within 2 hours, I think. Boris.
Yeah. It's that and Whiskey Man as well. You wrote Whiskey Man, didn't you?
Whiskey Man was a great fucking song.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm so glad I got to see Entwistle. I saw Entwistle in Birmingham. It's probably one of the last tours and stuff like that. And oh my God, and we were at the back. It was just incredible.
It was a little bit bittersweet for me, really. When I did get backstage, I've been backstage a couple of times with the Who, but John had gone. John had passed away by the time I got there, and I was like, oh, I kind of wish I would have met him, or I'd happily take Pino's job.
Wolfie, you keep saying this to me. It's the only band I'm going to let him leave us for, just for the record. So.
I'll agree with you.
Yeah, if Luke comes to me and goes, "I've got this other job," I'll be like, "You bastard!" And if he turns around and goes, "It's with the Who," I'll be like, "All right, okay, I'll let you go." What's the plans then for the rest of the year, mate? And the acting and everything else. Anything exciting going on with you, buddy?
Yeah, I suppose while we're on the subject of films and that, I've just bagged myself one of the lead roles for a Mike Bennett film called Vegan Vampires. Mike Bennett, he produced bands like The Fall, Ian Brown, Tori Wilcox. He even done comedy writing for Rick Mail, The Muppet Show, Frankie Howard, loads. He's a very established man. I've been to his flat. He's a good mate of mine. And there's gold discs everywhere. I mean, he's well clued up. He knows what he's doing. So it's an honour to be a part of one of his projects, along with Terry Marshall, what have you. Now, it's a B movie, like a horror comedy thing. We've got some great musical contributors as well. Johnny Marr, members of the Sex Pistols, Neville Staples from the Specials, Foo Fighters, just to name a few. So it's quite a big production. And that should be out, I would have thought, within the next month or so. It's been nearly 2 years in the making. It's been great fun. It's been a bit of a roller coaster ride, but it might even turn it out to be a cult classic. So big things to look forward to there. And an honour to work with Mike Bennett. So really looking forward to that.
People say to me, "Oh, you know, you're going to do this, and you're going to be in that." The thing is, anyone can be in a film. You know, they start off with an extra. And if the get to know the director, and if he likes you, blah blah blah. You know, there's ways of getting into movies. You know, I mean, you might not be successful at it. I mean, I've been doing it for years. I ain't really got anywhere, but it's great fun.
Yeah,
you know, just do it and trying to get there. You know, and if you don't make it, it doesn't matter. It's a conversation piece. It's fun, and you can see behind the scenes. You know, I was in Rocket Man. I was in
Spider-Man. Oh, great.
Spider-Man, all of that. I mean, the Spider-Man, you can just see a bit of my ear, but it was still my ear. Right?
What did you do in Rocket Man?
Rocket Man, I was one of the extras. I was in a deep background, doing coke and stuff. You know, pretending to get.
Right, okay. Yeah.
But it's quite interesting because on set, a lot of it was filmed in West London, and there was like in a big warehouse, and there's like 8 or 9 different sets. One is like a full-size jumbo jet, a section of it, right? The other one is his private jet. Another one is his room where he was born in the 1940s, so it's all like 1940s. And then you go to the backstage area from the 1970s, and, you know, and it's all within like spitting distance of each other. It's amazing just to see all these movies come together and where they create scenes, you know, and just go back into a time with tiny little details, you know, and which goes unnoticed when you just watch the film. Once behind the scenes, it's fascinating to seeing it all being put together, you know. So even if you don't make it as a movie star, it's just great to be a part of it and just see the workings of it all, the gubbins, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's, everyone puts such a big thing though now, mate, on being famous, or these shit TV shows of The Voice and all that kind of stuff. I mean, me and you were talking about this the other day, weren't we, Luke? It's like, if you're in a band, if you're an actor and stuff like that, and you love your craft and you love what you're doing, you know, you love your music or you love your acting, it's about that. It's not about getting, you know, if you're good enough, if you write the best songs, if you're the best actor, it will come. You know, you will be that A-list movie star, you know, or you get the right connections. As you said, well, you know the director, but there's so much focus on just 15 minutes of fame, and it's like, it's just sickening.
It is, it is.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I mean, I there I mention it, but I've done reality TV shows, right? I've done one of them.
What did you do? Oh my God, Wolfie! This is. I'll tell you now, Wolfie. This is not getting edited out. This bit.
Neil, do you remember a reality TV show called Coach Trip?
Yes.
Coach Trip, yeah. So him and it's a legendary mod DJ, and it's Tony Class that you went on it with. I'll let you carry on.
Man.
Look, we're all allowed mistakes, Wolfie. This sounds like one of them, right?
So, I mean, listen, I've got no regrets on this one. It was so much fun, and it was hard work as well, but it was so much fun. We misbehaved so much. We made TV history. I mean, I'll just go back it briefly. What happened was, I tried to get on Big Brother, right? Because I thought that would be a laugh, but I didn't get on that. Yeah, me and Tony, we'd be great on TV, right? So I auditioned for it, and I got the audition, and I said to Tony, I said, Tony, I says, do you want to be on Coach Trip? He went, yeah, it's a reality TV show. Ain't you seen it? He went, no. Anyway, so we got on it. The reason why I chose Tony, one, he's my best friend. 2, he gave up drinking 10 years ago. And 3, he's a great personality, right?
Yeah.
The first day, he decided to start drinking again. Oh God, we was pissing off the different contenders and that, and getting up like. Anyway, it was just ridiculous.
Brilliant.
It was great fun, you know, and they thought we was going to get voted off on the first day, but we didn't. We went 7 days of complete mayhem, caused a complete chaos on TV, and they in the end they couldn't. No one voted us off. They couldn't get us off, so they made up a fictitious story, which was true. They made it up, saying that. We was shouting and swearing and partying all night and throwing bottles out the window. Normally that's true, but this time it wasn't true, you know. And then Brendan, you know, Brendan, the TV guy.
Yeah.
He comes up and he goes, Wolfie, he goes, that's it. He goes, well, you've got to realise you're in a 5-star hotel. And I went, you know, so they tried their hardest to get us off, making up stories and everything. They're telling us to misbehave so we'd get kicked off, and they didn't. In the end, they give us an instant red card. You know, so we were the first people to get an instant red card without any votes. So that made TV. That red card.
Well, I know what I'm watching tonight, Wolfie.
Well done, Wolfie.
Yeah. I'm going online. I'm be like, Coach Trip, Wolfie.
Yeah. Series 7, episodes 1 to 7. There you go. All the people.
Nice. I don't even need to search for it. Get in.
You'll find the link.
The link will be in though.
When I found out Wolfie was going to be on Coach Trip, I pissed myself just in anticipation of what might have happened.
It was mad. Tony was so gutted that we got kicked off. He wouldn't take the red card. I had to take it. He wouldn't take it. He was really gutted. And he even bought a T-shirt saying I was on Coach Trip. Try not to tell everyone I was on Coach Trip, you know what I mean? But he loved it.
Oh, mate, that's amazing. That's the best, especially after me ranting about fucking reality TV shows, and then it's just, oh, well, Wolfie's.
I thought if I don't come up and say that I was on Coach Strip, people are going to go, "You're a two-faced." You said that.
Hang on, wasn't he on Coach Trip?
Yeah, isn't he on Series 7, episode 1 to 7?
He was the first one to get a straight red card.
Yeah. Did he get a T-shirt, or was that his mate? No.
Wolfie is the Roy Keane of Coach Trip.
I love it. Oh, mate, it's been amazing. Thank you so much for doing this for us, mate. I really appreciate it. No, it's thank you. We'll when all the stuff comes out, when the new series stuff you book comes out, we'll push it on our socials. You know, we've got a little voice, mate, but we'll get that all out there, buddy. But no, thank you very much, mate. Absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure sharing my stories with you. You know what I mean?
It's been
that's wicked. Thank you, mate, for doing this. I really appreciate it. So it's
great stuff. Okay, thanks for inviting me, guys, and keep in touch.
All right? See you soon,
Wolfie.
Wolfie.
Good to see you, mate.
So that was Wolfie. I hope you enjoyed that one. The man with so many stories. Luke and I had a right laugh with that, and a lovely guy as well. So thank you very much, buddy, for being on Moving the Spotlight. So join us next time in the next episode when we'll be talking to someone in the music industry, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.